Once upon a time, in a quiet Czech village, nestled between rolling hills and deep forests, lived a poor widowed merchant named Jan with his 3 daughters, Klára, Magdalena, and Láďa. Jan often traveled far and wide to trade, leaving his daughters to tend to their small cottage. One winter evening, before embarking on a journey, Jan asked his daughters what gifts they desired upon his return. "Father, I wish for a golden necklace," said Klára, the eldest, her eyes gleaming with ambition. "I would love a silk dress embroidered with silver threads," said Magdalena, who dreamed of a life of luxury. But the youngest, Láďa, smiled and said, "Father, I only wish for 3 roses, the most beautiful ones you can find." Jan was surprised, but promised to fulfill their wishes if fortune allowed. He kissed them farewell and departed on his journey. Weeks passed, and Jan's trade was successful, yet he could not find the 3 roses Láďa had requested. As he made his way home, he lost his path in a dark forest. Snow covered the ground, and an icy wind howled through the trees. Just as he thought all hope was lost, he spotted a grand castle illuminated by golden light. With no other choice, he approached. The castle gates opened by themselves, and he stepped inside. To his astonishment, the halls were lined with tables laden with food and warm fires burning in the hearths. Yet no one was in sight. Weary and hungry, he ate and fell asleep in a grand chamber. The next morning, as he prepared to leave, he noticed a magnificent rose garden outside, blooming despite the winter cold. Remembering Láďa's wish, he plucked 3 roses at that moment. A deep, thunderous voice shook the air. "Who dares steal my roses?" A towering beast, half man, half wolf, emerged from the shadows, his eyes burning like embers. Trembling, Jan fell to his knees. "Forgive me, noble lord. These are for my youngest daughter, who asked for nothing but 3 roses." The beast studied him for a long moment before speaking. "You may take them, but in return, you must send the daughter who wanted them. If she comes willingly, she will not be harmed. If she refuses, you must return and face your fate." Jan, terrified, agreed and fled the castle, roses in hand. Upon reaching home, he gave his elder daughters their gifts, but his heart ached when he handed Láďa the roses. When she asked why he looked troubled, he confessed the terrible bargain. Without hesitation, Láďa said, "Father, I will go. I asked for the roses, and I will not let harm come to you." Despite his protests, Láďa departed for the beast's castle the next morning. She arrived to find a place of great beauty and mystery, filled with music, books, and wonders she had never imagined. The beast, though fearsome in appearance, treated her with kindness, speaking gently and providing her with everything she needed. Days turned to weeks, and Láďa discovered that the beast was no monster at all, but a soul cursed by an old enchantment. Each night, they would sit by the fire, speaking of philosophy, poetry, and the stars. Slowly, fear gave way to admiration, and admiration turned into something deeper. One evening, the beast asked, "Láďa, do you fear me still?" "No," she answered truthfully. "You are kinder than many men I have known." Hope flickered in the beast's eyes. "Láďa, will you stay with me forever?" She hesitated, for though she had come to care for him, she longed to see her father and sisters once more. "Allow me to visit my family for a short while, and I promise I will return." The beast sighed but agreed, giving her a mirror. "Look into this, and you will see my castle. If you do not return within 3 days, I will perish from sorrow." Láďa returned home to great joy, but her sisters, jealous of her fine clothes and happiness, convinced her to stay longer. "The beast is nothing but a monster," Stay with us, dear sister, where you are safe. 𝕮𝖊𝖈, torn by love for her family, agreed. But on the fourth day, she gazed into the mirror and saw the beast lying lifeless in the snow-covered garden, a single rose wilting in his hand. With a cry of despair, she ran back to the castle, where she found him on the ground, barely breathing. "No, you must not leave me," she wept. "I love you." As her tears touched his fur, a golden light surrounded them. The beast shuddered, and before her eyes his form changed, his claws withdrew, his fur melted away, and in his place stood a young man, handsome and noble. "𝕮𝖊𝖈, you have broken the curse," he said. "I was once a prince, cursed by a vengeful sorceress to remain a beast until a maiden would love me despite my form." 𝕮𝖊𝖈 and the prince returned to the village, where her father rejoiced. As for her sisters, ashamed of their jealousy, they left to seek their own fortunes. 𝕮𝖊𝖈 and the prince wed, ruling the land with wisdom and kindness. And in the castle garden, roses bloomed year-round, a symbol of love's triumph over fear.